Natalie Voss and Scott Jagow here with the Paulick Report. We're here at Arlington Park for the Arlington Million this weekend. Last year, Scott, Arlington premiered a new race, the American St. Ledger, which is a little unusual.
By American standards, certainly. The St. Ledger is based on the British St. Ledger, which is part of the Triple Crown over there. It's run at the unusual distance of 1 mile and 11/16, so about 1 mile and 3/4. Pretty long for an American race. We're intrigued by this event, so we wanted to find out more.
And the American St. Ledger is actually a race that was brought to us from your European connections. Our contingency then asked if we would conduct a similar race here. We were going to name it the Arlington St. Ledger, but in bringing the relationships of two different continents together, we decided to name it the American St. Ledger. And it really will show that American horses can compete at distances as well as the European horses.
Can they?
Absolutely. You see, I owe you big time last year. Lost by half a length by Jagow came down the stretch and beat him by a half a length. Also, I think when you look at the Breeders' Cup and see where the Breeders' Cup is going, if there's a chance it goes to Del Mar, I think you're going to see some of these horses in the American St. Ledger look for the Breeders' Cup Marathon on synthetic. They love the synthetic. It's actually something they're talking about.
How do you hope this race evolves? What are you hoping it does?
Well, what I think it's going to do is, again, show that American horses can compete at the distance, but really reach out to a fan base. When you have a race in that distance, it's not over in 1:34 or 1:51. You know, it's lasting well over 2 minutes. I think that's going to engage the public and give them a new sight, especially with two passes in front of the grandstand. It's something that's unique here in the United States. You have the San Juan Capistrano, it's a little bit shorter. You have a race, the Louisville Handicap, it's a little bit shorter as well. But I think those are things that make this race unique, as there's so very few of them in this country. I think if there were the longer distances, you would see people breeding for the distances. You said everybody's looking towards speed and towards short distances. Also from a fan base, I think it's easier for a young fan or a newcomer to start to understand, to see how a race is starting to develop. Developing over a longer period of time. So I'd equate it to an 80-yard run versus a 20-yard run in NFL football. You start to see the play develop. You start to see the players in the field start to position themselves, and it gives them a better understanding for racing.